Alright, so time for round 2 with Trypticon. I've switched over to the Bumblebee loadout here for the second round, and we're immediately as the battle starts, we're going to run right over here to the upper level and pick up the Thermal Rocket Launcher. Then we're going to boost down here to the X-12 Scrapmaker, and those are going to be the two weapons we're going to have for this fight, and we're never going to put them down, ever, for anything. So the first thing we're going to do is hide over here, because he now is going to start to use his homing missiles, and they're going to be pretty devastating. If even a small little cluster of them hits us, it'll probably kill us instantly. So we want to hide under that little canopy over there. And this map is a little bit different than the one in the first round, but then he also has that beam attack that comes from the cannon on his head there, which is slightly different than his mouth cannon, I guess, but it's the one that flips over from that translucent part there, similar to the original Trypticon toy from Generation 1, and he also has his tail attack, which is even more dangerous because he has homing missiles on his freaking tail. So yeah, this is when things get really exciting. But the reason I have these two weapons here is after dodging his tail, I like to come over here to this little ramp and shoot at his dorsal power cores, as Optimus calls them. And those are going to be our objectives for this part, is to damage those. And the reason I have the Thermal Rocket Launcher is because it can lock on to those targets on his back. But the main reason that I've got the Thermal Rocket Launcher is because he'll occasionally, as he's finishes his cycle of attacks here, he will deploy crystals of dark energy on that will spawn the spiders. And I really want to be able to deal with those guys really quickly so I can focus on doing damage to his back here with the X-12 Scrapmaker. So I want to blow away all those spiders as soon as possible, so that's what the rocket launcher is for. As you can see, one shot will kill them instantly, and the splash damage will do all the rest of the ones around him. Now, the one that's on his right shoulder, which will be to our left side of the map, is probably the most obnoxious one to hit, because when we're on this side of the map, we're going to be hiding from his homing missiles underneath this little area here, and we're going to be hiding from his beam attack from the top of his head on this little object of this little debris right here, this little ramp, I guess you could say. And so we'll be able to hit it like that, but one of the main times we're going to be able to hit him is right after we dodge his tail attack, which is right now. And just like before, we have to get completely to the opposite side of the screen to be safe from it, so our screen is no longer turning purple. And the homing missiles that come out of his tail are not really all that threatening. But the ammo spawns right there at the base of the that ramp right there, so if you need more ammo, which you probably will very quickly after using the X-12 Scrapmaker on this guy. But we won't be able to really hit the one on his right shoulder when we're over there on that ramp. So we kind of have to come back over here a little prematurely. The health spawns over here, it spawns two of them, and they spawn pretty rarely, so hopefully you won't really need it. But as you can see, the reason why I chose Bumblebee is purely because we'll be running around all over the place like a maniac, and I really needed the speed. So this strategy took me a really long time to figure out, because this is, honest to God, a really, really hard boss fight. It's honestly a bit broken. Like, I think it's needlessly difficult. Like, it's almost as hard as the final boss in Vanquish on hard. Of course, Vanquish's difficulty was really only because I was playing it on hard. It's a bit obnoxious even on medium in this game, but it's not for the right reasons though. But I figured out the strategy, as you can tell, just repeating the same cycle over and over again, because he has a pattern. But if you really want to ignore that upper level up there as much as possible, because you really have nowhere to hide from his attacks, because basically all we're doing down here is just hiding from his attacks and doing damage to him whenever we can, and then taking out the spiders with the rocket launcher. So we have a location that we can get away from pretty much each and every one of his attacks before doing damage to him, and that's basically the strategy. So in theory, you could do this with the other characters, because I believe all of them have the dash ability. I'm not really sure about Ironhide, but I've never actually done this as Ironhide, to be honest. But like I said, prefer Bumblebee because he's the fastest, and he has a fast car mode, and he has the machine guns in his car mode are also pretty good for taking out the spiders if you need to do that real quick while you're hiding. But also the rockets on the other two guys' car modes are not bad either, but you know. Like I said, Bumblebee is just best at this job. The other two characters will do fine, but like I said, I've never done it as Ironhide, so it's pretty hard for me to recommend a character I've never really played as. You basically just repeat the same process over again. Come over here, hide from the homing missiles, go behind that piece of debris and hide from his cannon on his head, then run over to the other side of the map to after he started his tail attack to hide from that. Then focus your fire on his dorsal power cores. then destroy the spiders, pick up the ammo, and head back, and just repeat the same thing over and over again until he dies. And as you can see, he's almost dead, because we're down to the third and final one, which is the one on his left shoulder, which is on the right side of the screen for us. And once that's destroyed, he will be down for good, finally. Until Generation 1, of course, when he comes back. I don't know how they salvaged him from this wreck, though. I mean, he doesn't die, because he's probably nearly indestructible. But still, it's never really explained. Of course, like, you could say this game is not entirely canon, so for all we know, he lives. As I've argued before, this game is probably not canon, but like I said, I'm not quite a hardcore fan enough to know. I really don't know that much about Trypticon, to be honest, so maybe there is mentioning of this fight in the cartoon for all I know. Who knows? Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but he is almost dead, so I'm gonna quickly rush over here, dodge his tail attack, and finish him off. So we finally defeated Trypticon, and he has to spite us again by spawning more crystals. But yeah, there's an achievement in this level for getting hit by his hand right there as he falls down, and as you can see, I did that right there. So you gotta stand right there at the edge when he does that. But like I said, I made that look a lot easier than it really is. That is actually a very tough fight if you don't know what you're doing, and as I said, it's almost as tough as the one in Vanquish.
You've lost, Trypticon.
And I will be skipping the final cutscene as usual, so I don't spoil the ending or anything like that. Optimus giving his signature badass rollout line. So let's watch the credits roll, and what an awesome credit sequence this is. This just screams 80s cheesiness. Stan Bush doing another Transformers theme. You've got me sold on that one. I remember the first time watching this credit sequence thinking, you know what? I really enjoyed this game. That was quite a lot of fun. In all honesty, it's not that great of a third-person shooter. It has flaws here and there, but I really enjoyed it as a Transformers fan, and I think you will too if you have any respect for the series. Or if you're just like sci-fi or cheesy 80s-ness. So that's all for this walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed making it. As far as other stuff goes, I think the next walkthrough I'll be working on will be Rage. But I'm going to be revamping my original Half-Life 1 walkthrough in HD. So that's probably the next thing I'll work on. Then I have some Let's Plays I'm going to be uploading as well for two very unexpected games, I'm sure. So I'm going to, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to cancel the commentary now so you can listen to this epic cheesy 80s song.
Defenders of truth, robots who fight in disguise.